Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Palm Beach County Mayor Robert Weinroth. Thank you very much for coming down. We are going to have an update on Hurricane Ian today, and I'm going to introduce a few of our speakers here as we get to them. But what I'd first like to do, let me introduce who's up here with me anyway. Chief of our police department, of our fire department, Chief Kennedy. Superintendent Burke is with us. Dr. Alina Alonso from the Health Department. Of course, our Incident Commander and County Administrator, Virginia Baker. My Vice Mayor, Vice Weiss. Commissioner McKinley from out in the Glades area, District 6. And of course, Willie Pez from Solid Waste. Excuse me? Oh. Colonel Allen has joined us. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get down to business. Hurricane Ian obviously is a major hurricane. It is now a Cat 3. It has sustained winds of 120 miles an hour. It is moving to the west. Obviously, we are not looking at a direct hit in Palm Beach County. We are out of the cone of concern at this moment in time, but we don't know if one of those spaghetti models might change. It has changed its direction a little bit to the east from the last time we looked at it last night. So it is a storm that we need to keep an eye on. Palm Beach County certainly has been working towards preparation. We went to a level 3 last Friday, and our county administrator and staff have been working to ensure that the county is prepared for this storm. The president at the federal level has issued a state of emergency for Florida. The governor at the state level has likewise issued a state of emergency for all 67 counties in our state. Reimbursement of county protective actions will be taken care of by those declarations. The state is prepared to respond with the resources as necessary. We have had meetings virtually with the state, and they have prepared for the storm. They're putting their resources where they believe they're going to be needed, and certainly our county has access to resources as they are needed. Palm Beach County Emergency Operations Center was, as I said, activated. It is now at a level 2 as of 2 o'clock today. So there's a tropical storm warning for our area, which means there are potential sustained winds in excess of 39 miles per hour. As I said, the storm itself has been classified as a Cat 3, which means it has winds between 110 and 129 miles an hour, and we've heard that it's running at about 120 miles an hour right now. It is probably going to intensify because of the heat in the water in the Gulf. We want to make sure that our new residents who have not had the pleasure of this experience understand that it's important to plan, it's important to prepare, but you shouldn't panic. This is something that we go through on almost an annual basis, and we're prepared for this, and we're built for this. So we are able to deal with these storms as they come on us. Look out for your neighbors, especially if you have elderly or infirm people who can't get out. This is the time to help them, make sure they have the supplies they need, make sure that you know if they need some assistance. This is the time to reach out. With the landfall on the West Coast, Florida is going to be cautiously watching, especially from the East Coast, and again, making sure that the storm doesn't come further to the east. Right now, one of the spaghetti models has it coming to the north of Lake Okeechobee. So it's going to have an effect. This is going to be probably a rain and wind event. And as you're going to hear in a few moments, we're going to make some changes to our scheduling, both the schools and our transportation, with respect to what we're going to do so that we don't have to worry about safety of our children or safety of our travelers. Rain could be between 4 and 6 inches with a potential of 10 inches in the area. I heard this morning that they are predicting between 15 and 20 inches up in Orlando. So this is going to be quite a rain event. Visit Florida has announced that Expedia has launched their emergency accommodations module for real-time hotel and lodging availability for evacuees. So go on to expedia.com/Florida to find out where you could get accommodations if you're evacuating. I'd like to now invite our Superintendent, Mike Burke, to come up and speak about our schools. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. To the district students, staff, and parents, I want to let you know that I'm working closely with our local, county, and state officials to make the most informed decisions about school schedules. In an abundance of caution, I have made the decision to close district-operated schools and district offices tomorrow, September 28th, as Hurricane Ian continues to gain strength and track closer to Florida's west coast. Additionally, all after-school activities, including sports, school meetings, and leases, are canceled tomorrow. A decision regarding closures beyond Wednesday is forthcoming. That information will be shared with parents and staff in an expedient manner. Schools are going through their normal dismissal this afternoon, and our aftercare programs remain open until 6 p.m. All other extracurricular activities, athletics, evening leases, and evening adult education classes have been canceled today. We will continue to keep parents and staff informed via email and calls. The district has also established a dedicated Hurricane Ian update and resource webpage at palmbeachschools.org. This webpage contains continually updated information about the storm's potential impact on our school district, along with information about emergency contacts, county and state updates, and resources for supporting young children who may be frightened by the storm. It's also important to note that while schools and district offices will be closed tomorrow, I will be in close contact throughout the storm with our school board and our administrative team and county officials. For our students, please take some of this newfound time off to pick up a book. This is great reading weather, and we are celebrating Literacy Month. I'd like to thank everyone for the support of the School District of Palm Beach County, and please stay safe, everyone. It is now my pleasure to introduce one of my good friends, Dr. Alina Alonso.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see everybody again. Believe it or not, I kind of miss this. So the most important thing with the storm is safety of not only our residents that are here, but also our visitors that may not be familiar. People who have been here are going to be going through this for the first time. And I really like what the mayor said, that this is about being prepared, not about being frightened or concerned in that way. We just need to do what we need to do, which is prepare our homes, take down any loose objects that you have outside, such as umbrellas, picnic tables, loose items outside, bird feeders. I'm trying to take all of mine down tonight. It's going to be raining, so that's very important. Try not to be up on ladders in the rain. It's very slippery, and that's where people get hurt. You don't want to end up in the hospital to ride this out. So please be very careful when you do any activity outside now. This is going to be a very, very rain and a lot of wind, just like the mayor said. So please be careful. If our electricity goes out, which is probable that it will when we have high winds, those of you who have generators, please be very careful not to put those generators anywhere where the smoke from the generator can come inside. Okay, you got to put those things outside where that smoke will not go into your home. Also, make sure you take care of your pets. That's another very important thing. And just several feet of water is enough to float a car away. So please avoid any standing water. I know that as a kid we used to love to play in the puddles, so try to keep everybody away from the puddles, including the adults that think they're still kids, because there can be things underneath and you can get cut, you can fall into a space that's deeper, and so that's very important to stay away from those things. Although our clinics will be closed tomorrow for the safety of not only our staff but also for the patients, we want to try to keep as many people off the road as possible. I will be, along with my team, I will be here at the Emergency Operations Center making sure that everything is safe, and we will let you know as soon as it reopens. We will reschedule your appointments. So other than that, I think people just please listen to your local channels, because that's where you're going to hear any tornado warnings. We are looking also for tornadoes that might be happening, and your local stations will be the one that will give you those warnings locally for tornadoes and also for flash floods. So keep in mind all those things. Stay safe, and our prayers are with all the people on the West Coast that are going to be getting this a lot worse than we are, so we're lucky this time around. With that, I want to introduce Willie Poos from the Solid Waste Authority. Come on up.
Thank you. I'm Willie Puz with the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. As tropical force storm winds are predicted in our county, as procedure and out of caution for our drivers in high-profile vehicles, all Solid Waste Authority facilities and transfer stations will be closed tomorrow. That means there will be no garbage collection. This is not the time to go trim your trees or do major construction projects and think if you put something to the curb, it's going to be picked up. It won't. Tomorrow, again, we will be closed. There will be no garbage collection tomorrow, Wednesday. For Thursday's collection, we'll be making that decision based off of the weather and how things change over the course of the day and making that about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Thank you.
Okay, it's now my pleasure to introduce our incident commander and our county administrator, Virginia Baker.
Thank you, Mayor. And again, good afternoon. I'd like to thank the media for being here because you've been our partners throughout every incident, so thank you. We want to make sure that we're preparing our residents so that they are comfortable and know that the county as well as our municipal partners are working together in order to ensure their safety. Palm Beach County has been diligently preparing for Hurricane Ian. Our road and bridge department has been out. They have cleared our drainage systems. We are looking for flooding situations, and we want to ensure that does not happen. We want to make sure that if you're on the road, we really do not want you on the road, but if you have to go out, please avoid puddles because we don't know how deep they are. Standing water is very, very dangerous. In an abundance of caution, to keep our employees and our residents safe as well as patrons of our businesses, all county operations will be closed on Wednesday. Palm Trans services on Wednesday will be suspended due to the projected sustained winds of 39 miles per hour or more. And so we cannot put buses on the highway when we have such high winds. It is not safe. Or high-profile vehicles are not safe. So again, it is imperative that if you don't have to go out, please do not go out on the roadway. We do anticipate services being restarted on Thursday, but we will continue to keep you updated on Palm Trans services. Earlier this afternoon, we had a conference call with our constitutional officers, and their offices will be closed as well. That includes the courts, the state attorney, public defender, tax collector, clerk of courts, supervisor of elections, and the property appraiser. They will all be closed on tomorrow. As the mayor indicated, the EOC has upgraded our activation level to a level 2, modified and designated certain essential county staff to respond, which they will be contacted if they have not already. I would like to reassure the residents that Palm Beach County, Team PBC, we are ready to respond to the storm's impact. For our homeowners association, please check that your drainage control structures are operational. If not, it will back up into your community and hinder you from driving out. So please ensure that your drainage control structures are operational. Beginning at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, the Emergency Information Center will be open. Residents may call 561-712-6400 with questions regarding the storm. We encourage our residents to register for Alert PBC to receive emergency alerts. You can do so from our homepage at www.pbcgov.com. Now is the time to download the app, PBC DART, where you may obtain information before the storm, during the storm, and report damage to your residence or business after the storm. You can upload photos that reflect the damage that you incurred. Hopefully, we will not incur any damage. We'll survive the wind and the rain. We will continue to monitor weather conditions and adjust accordingly and ensure that you are notified of any impending changes. I do want to point out that Palm Beach County does not control whether planes land or take off. That is done through FAA and the tower. They will make those determinations. However, we do urge you to call, if you're flying out, that you call the airline to determine whether your flight has been canceled. So again, I want to remind you, if you don't have to be on the road, please stay at home. Stay where it's safe. Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you, Virginia. Look, this is going to be a storm that our residents should just be careful of. It's post-storm that's even worse. If you see a down line, please don't go out and touch it. If you go into an intersection that doesn't have lights working, that's an uncontrolled intersection and everybody's supposed to stop. Let's be safe out there. Let's make sure that we get through this storm safely, and again, keep an eye on your neighbors. I'd now like to ask Commissioner McKinley to come up. She represents our westernmost communities.
Thank you, Mayor, for letting me squeeze a little bit of time into your press conference. I want to assure, we're watching this storm shift a little bit to the east, and there's always a concern that not so much what happens here in downtown West Palm Beach, but what happens 50 to 60 miles west of here. We have been in touch with the Army Corps of Engineers. They assure us that the dike is in the best position it's been in decades. Almost all of the repairs have been completed on the dike right now. The lake is about 2.5 feet below where it normally is this time of the year, so there's plenty of storage space available in the lake. We have also been, my office and the County Emergency Operations Center has also been in touch with the Fish and Wildlife Commission and the Water Management District to make sure that all of their systems are working and they are coordinating with one another to make sure those communities, particularly out in the acreage in addition to the glades, won't flood during this storm. It's also important to note, I noticed on the way here, our swales are starting to fill up. Please remember that our systems are designed to keep your home from flooding. It is normal to see those water levels rise up in the swales, and you could expect some yard flooding. We're doing everything we can to make sure that your yards don't flood. A last note, it is campaign season. Be a responsible candidate. If you have not secured your campaign signs, please make sure you're doing that. And then just a note of personal privilege. My dad is in Sarasota saying a lot of prayers tonight. So Dad, if you're watching this, please be smart and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner McKinley. Okay, we'll take questions if there are any. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody clamor to ask any questions. Must have done a great job.
I've actually got a
Oh,
question.
we have one? Okay.
Sorry, with CBS 12, we're wondering about evacuations, how the county's preparing for people coming in to the county.
We're working with the state, and the state has issued their alert through Expedia for people coming down to our area to contact you, to reach out to Expedia, and they've got a list of hotels, et cetera, that individuals can definitely contact and make arrangements.
Have you guys seen quite a few people already using that service? Or?
We have not seen that, nor have we been contacted regarding individuals coming to our community. But just as we would handle our own residents, which we are reaching out. Our HOT team is reaching out to our homeless population to make sure that they're secured. And so we're working through that process as well. So if we're reached out to, we will address the situation.
Are you expecting any people to come in?
I am not. I believe that most people that are going to come south have already secured their site, or they're coming to visit others that are living here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Scott Travis, I'm Sentinel. I was wondering if you all have a sense on, it sounds like just about all the county services are going to be closed at least tomorrow. Do you know about, I know every city probably decides on their own, but have you gotten a sense, like, have most of the city services been shut down, will be shut down as well?
We do communicate with our cities. We have a standing call with our cities and our constitutional officers. Our cities, for the most part, the majority of them are closing, and others have not made that final decision as of yet. But by the close of business today, those decisions have been made.
Excuse me, you mentioned the homeless? What services are you offering for the homeless?
Most of our homeless, we've got three, under the leadership of this board, we've got three homeless locations. We've got the Lewis Center, the Lewis Annex, and we also have a center out in Pahokee. And so for the most part, our homeless that are looking for assistance has been addressed. We've got others that we have contracts with hotels that we will put them up in. Again, we cannot force people into housing.
Do they make any special sweeps, like, before a hurricane? Like, I know
We're out there now, doing it now.
That's what they're doing right now?
Yes, ma'am.